How's it going, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Draft to the Future. I am half the team, Matt, and just doing a quick review. I'm too lazy to to move to my couch, so I'm actually knee deep in evaluating the players. If you follow my Twitter page, I'm doing deeper dives in data terms, but I go through and I score guys according to my own private production formula and give the top five for each position. So if that's something you're interested in, you can follow me on Twitter to do that. And that means that I'm kind of scrambling to get my normal player evaluations done. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. So we're gonna roll through with this just to kind of get it done. Let's take a look here. Let's start here. Florida was on a bye, so nothing from Slaughter. Duke was on a bye, so nothing from Chandler Rivers. Fernando Mendoza, more and more proving himself as QB1. Although if Dante Moore gets to 20, uh, he would be my QB2. If he gets 20 starts, then yeah, I will not draft a quarterback who doesn't have 20 starts. I don't care what he does. But you get to 20, and now I'm willing to think about it, especially if Mendoza's not there. But this is supposed to be about him. So let's see here 15 out of 22 for 3 touchdowns. He's credited with an interception, but it was tipped and then intercepted off the tip. So I don't really put that on him. I mean, he wasn't even given any turnover worthy plays or big time throws. So yeah, he kind of like they beat up on UCLA and he played well against UCLA and he did good. But I continue to affirm that he comes in and he does what he's supposed to do. And yes, he played Iowa and it was a little tougher. But he made the plays he needed to play. And yes, he played Oregon. It was a little tougher, but he made the plays that he needed to make. If I'm an evaluator, I think I would really love to see him, you know, and I don't know that the schedule is there until if and when they make the championship. I'd love to see him have a good game against a great opponent. But right now, everything I could ask of him to do from my summer scouting to now, he has done. So I'm all in on Fernando Mendoza QB1, and he hasn't done anything to assuage it. But there are naysayers who are like, yeah, but he hasn't played anyone. And I'm like, well, what do you want him to do? Meanwhile, you're looking at a Ty Simpson or a Dante Moore, and the difference is Ty Simpson had that out at best. It was a rough game against Florida State. Dante Moore lost the head to head against Fernando Mendoza. And I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying, like, what happens is quarterbacks start to rise and then they look for reasons to knock them down. And it's this weird little seesaw that happens. And you'll see it happen again in the draft process, too. So we'll kind of take it from where that is. We might get a guest appearance from my dog because that's just kind of a thing he does. His teammate Mikhail Kamara. Interestingly enough, he had 6 pressures in that game, but he's only got 1 sack on the season. But 6 pressures in one game, 6 in another, 5 in another, 4 in another. So he's affecting the passer, but it's an issue that he's not getting home. He had a 70% overall defensive grade, a 72.5 run defense grade, a 62.9 pass rush grade. So he I feel confident that I kind of know where he is, and it's not an insult. He's in my opinion, he's a day 2, maybe day 3 guy who you can set up and put on the edge. And now this is a guy who's going to contribute. He's going to do things that need to be that are important. You need these things on the team, but he hasn't shown the ability to really knock it out of the park and dominate. So he's a good player. I think he'll have a long, steady career, but he hasn't shown anything that says special. But you need a guy like this on your team. Sam Levitt, unfortunately, he went out with an injury, and I don't know what that is at the moment. Interestingly enough, the data and the film, I'm starting to see the things I loved out of Levitt and he's even improved his time to throw. But it's not translating. Now, Arizona State kind of threatened. It looked pretty bad, but then, Levitt was leading a comeback before he went out with that injury. Maybe it would have happened. Maybe it would have. Um, but he ended the night 18 to 35, so a whole lot of attempts and only 7.7 yards per attempt in that game. So he always had shorter stuff. He was without his receiver, um, and we'll have to see kind of what's going on there. But with his completion percentage isn't where it needs to be, in my opinion. And he had a lot of turnover worthy plays against Houston, to be fair. Um, but as many turnover worthy plays as he had. So 6.7% turnover worthy play percentage, right? But he had a 10.3 big play. So he's kind of this season been a boomer bust. Again, anyone with eligibility, I would say go back. Go back. Even Mendoza, it would break my heart for my shadow draft. But if you have eligibility, go back. Get more snaps. Get more experience. Um, uh, I think Levitt needs it because you kind of want to see the potential that I'm still looking at when I look at the film and I look at the data, and you want to see it come together. So that's something. He's doing all right. Tanner Kazoil, they have figured out that he's very tall and it should be good in the red zone. They played Arizona State, so it's kind of bittersweet. Um, Targeted 10 times, 7 receptions, 100 yards, 14.3 yard per reception, and a touchdown. Tanner Kazoil deserves to play in the NFL. You have to have a plan, and I don't think the athleticism is going to work out. But he's 6'7", 250. Sometimes you got to look at a guy and be like, yeah, but I can do this. I can work with who he is. He doesn't drop the ball. He's got one drop. He had one drop in this game, but he's got one drop all season on 56 targets. There's a lot to like in Tanner Kazoil, and I hope he gets a shot. We'll have to see. Alex Harkey, he did have an adorable play. Like it wasn't adorable if you play for Wisconsin, but he pancaked two guys in one play, and that was fun. And Alex Harkey had himself a relatively decent day. They only gave him a 57 grade, and I don't really understand why he would do that, like why they would do that. They were really, and again, the two pancakes in one came on a run blocking play, but he ended at 57 overall, 58.3 run block, 47.8 pass block. I'm not really sure. I'd ask PFF to maybe double check that because it just kind of feels off to me. I mean, he didn't. He allowed what, two hurries, two pressures. Those two hurries were two pressures, um, and that was on what, 24 pass blocking plays. I PFF again, data driven film confirmed. The film doesn't really align with these grades, and I hope PFF kind of takes a glance at that. I'm not saying he was dominant, but my film review says his performance was more on par with solid to good, like 65 somewhere, than other places. Um, Eric O'Neill, let's see how he did. Two pressures, 66.4 defense grade, 59.2 run defense grade, a 62.7 pass rush grade, 35 snaps against Purdue. He had some missed tackles and that hurt his grade overall. You know, he he also has struggled to get home, but he's proving himself capable. One of these days, if you're curious, if you just kind of want to know, my dog is trying to be annoyingly adorable, and so we're gonna roll with this. Harold Perkins Jr. is kind of the victim of a smear campaign. Um, I think it was based on an honest evaluation that then uh, people are like, he's the reason we lost. No, man, there are so many reasons you guys lost. There are so many, many reasons. He didn't help. That is true. But there are so many, many reasons why they lost. But the ultimate issue with Perkins is it's just too much evidence. He can't cover. And if he wants to play that star position and they kicked him to middle linebacker because they got linebackers injured, it, if if he wants to shine, he's got to get in. He's got to get to improve his coverage skills. He's got to come back. He's got to develop. He's too short to be an edge rusher, um, and his coverage skills are kind of a big hindrance. He was credited with, he wasn't credited with any missed tackles in this one, but he did. He missed tackles. So he had a really rough game against the best team in the country, in my personal opinion. Also on my Twitter page, I kind of post every weekend as soon as I can after the games. I post my version of the top 25, and A&M's the top team in the country. Look, the top four, everyone got the top four right. I just think they got the order wrong. If we're talking resume, A&M is it, and A&M is doing well, and they deserve their credit. And Perkins has been struggling. I'm not pretending that he should go back. I'm not pretending that either. But to anyone who thinks he is single-handedly the reason like you struggled did not pay attention to that game. And I don't think he was. I don't know, but I don't think he was covering that punt. So yeah, Perkins has flaws, and Perkins clearly needs to come back. He definitely needs to improve his coverage skills. He has improved in his missed tackles. That's like a real thing. He has made traction there, but that there are other issues. So last but not least, Caden Green. Again, he's doing well against good teams, which is what I asked him to do. He's got all the measurables. I want to see his athleticism stuff. I want to see what his athleticism can do. I want to see that. But for this week against a good team, 64.4. He had 87 pass block grade, only a 58 run block grade. So I mean, it's below average, but he he's doing okay. I still think he's a guard. I feel more strongly that he's a good guard. Um and he might be able to step in there and help out at tackle. But we'd have to see. So I mean the guy came in and it wasn't amazing, but he did his job. He did his job and he did it against a solid defense after really showing up against an even better defense. I don't know, Auburn. I fear pass rushers in Auburn, but Vanderbilt's some more complete defense. So you can kind of take it for what it is. So he did his job. He did what he needed to do, and that's kind of where we landed. So my effort at a relatively quick update on how things are going, while literally fighting my dog with my other hand. So we'll see y'all around. We're still looking for interviews to do. We got a live coming up next week where we're looking at college football a little more deeply. So stay tuned for that. Have a great night. God bless. Love you all. See you around. Bye.